Hi, may I help you? Hi, I was wondering if you could tell me a bit about your journey making a magazine. Yeah, of course, I would love to. Come on in. My name is Zainab Akhtar and I am candidate 0501. The question I have for you is, how did your production skills develop throughout this project? In the beginning of this course, my skills were deficient. Throughout my journey of creating these blogs, my skills increased as I practiced with each and every publication. There are clear differences that could be seen when looking back from the beginning till now. The vocabulary wasn't as strong in the beginning as I didn't know many of the basic conventions when creating magazines. My creativity skills lacked a great amount, but throughout this journey they have come to a great recognizable point. By taking this course, I have learned great knowledge which will also help me in the future. We started with the preliminary task where we had to create a cover page, table of contents, and double page spread. At the time I was proud of how each page came out, but looking back there are many things I would change. At the time, I wasn't sure about how I wanted to lay out everything. I just put an image on the page and filled the rest with some text and graphics. In my final cover page, I had created a draft prior to the final creation which helped me to plan out where everything was supposed to go. In addition, I knew several conventions such as taglines, cover lines, and other things which helped me to make it look proper. My preliminary cover page contained a masthead which was black and white, whereas my final cover page had a masthead that is colorful. The preliminary cover page looked bland, so I wish I had added more color to it. I didn't have a set color scheme going into this project and instead just went with the flow. In addition, there was a lack of variety within the page. In my final cover page, I also added sub-images to show more content which is found inside of my magazine. On the side of those images, I added cover lines which explain the pictures. This helped to add more details on the magazine. The variety of color on the magazine helped to make it look more fun and creative. I also added different fonts and font thickness to create a diversity on my page. My preliminary cover page lacked these. I used one font throughout which made everything look blended in together. I wish I changed up the fonts and thickness of the letters to add variety within the page. Also, making some words bigger than others would have helped to add a fun change on the page. Another aspect I would change is the plain background. The only graphics I added were paw prints, and although they look nice, they still lack some creative details. Adding a gradient or low opacity background would have helped to make it look better. Now, moving on to the preliminary table of contents page. On the left is my preliminary table of contents page, and on the right is my final table of contents. When looking at these, we could see how the layout of both match with one another. I think both pages look nice, but it's clear that the left one lacks some creative details. My preliminary table of contents pages didn't use any effects on the images, whereas in my final piece I added effects to my images. Furthermore, the title lacks details, making it harder to capture someone's attention. I wish I made the title bigger on my preliminary page. The preliminary contents page lacked a color scheme, making it harder to create a visually appealing piece. It looked as if I placed images and text on a page with some graphics and added nothing else. I'm proud of how in my final piece I incorporated different effects, font thickness, and background details. Like the preliminary piece, I added a short description in the bottom of the heading to show what the section will be about. To help everything look more correlated, I kept the same fonts throughout the pages. To further add details to my final piece, I added a little subscription number that people could call if they wanted to get frequent publications. I didn't, however, add this to my preliminary piece. Let's move on to the double page spread. On the left is my preliminary double page spread, and on the right is my final double page spread. The one on the left has multiple images all throughout which helps to add visual effects to the page. I like how I added a small border around those images to make them stand out. Also, the title of the preliminary task is in multiple colors which helps to add differences in the page. In addition, I added headings on the preliminary to show a description of each type of cat. The heading is in a bigger size font and bolded to make it stand out. I also added graphics around the page to add some creative details, though it doesn't look like much thought was put into the placement. The final cover page contained a bright pink title which was placed on top of the page. I correlated the colors of the double page spread to those of the rest of the pages. This helped to make everything look cohesive and like it belonged to the same publication. I like how I added a white background behind the text to make the text pop up more. On the preliminary page, the text looked blended in with the rest of the background. Throughout this video, we could see clear differences made in the progress of this magazine journey. Before, I didn't know as many conventional aspects of a magazine, making it harder to create one. However, as time went on, I learned different things that aided me in making my final piece. Thank you for taking us through your journey. Of course, come back next time to see the progress made for the rest of my issues.